Welcome back to Unrendered. We're chatting with the Honorable Glen Beache, Minister of Tourism. Minister Beache, when we went on that break, I was saying to you that your detractors feel that the way your government has managed the economy, there's a bubble waiting to burst, literally. Do you think that that's a fair comment?
I really don't.
You think they're just saying that because of politics?
I think it's politics and looking for any reason to try and make us look bad to a certain extent. But I think the proof is in the pudding. And I think what we have done has been a tremendous job considering all the circumstances that we've had to face internationally. And a lot of these things that have happened in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has not been because of the government, but outside reasons why they have taken place. I think we've managed the economy very well. I think the fact that you look at, let's say, a project like Bukama on the Bay, when you have so many investments shutting down around the Caribbean, especially hotels, and the fact that we still have it being built, I think it speaks for itself in terms of what we have been doing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to make sure that we survive this global economic crisis. Okay,
I'm going to try not to spend a lot of this program discussing the economy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but basically your role as Minister of Tourism. I know that that's a huge part of how the economy is driven. Let's talk about your role as Minister of Tourism. That's a huge responsibility, isn't it?
Yeah, very, very big.
And your predecessor, the Honorable Rene Batiste, I think it's fair to say that she was commended by both sides of the political divide for the job she did in tourism.
Yes.
Those are some big shoes that she's left for you to fill. You feel intimidated by that? Have you felt intimidated by that?
Not at all. I think what Rene did for the tourism industry was tremendous here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but I think she and I work differently in terms of the way we manage the
style you're talking about.
The style in terms of the way we manage the industry. I think Rene, what she did in terms of she combined a lot of the culture and tourism. She
had both.
Yeah, she had both portfolios
yes.
under her, and so you saw a lot of the things being done in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I think in terms of my management style and what I know of tourism, and that is my field of expertise, I think what I brought to the table was making sure that the name of St. Vincent and the Grenadines got out there. So while it might not be noticeable to a lot of people on the ground here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I think when you look when you look internationally, in terms of our marketing, our public relations, I think I have done a tremendous job, an exceptional job.
Okay.
In terms of that, and I think St. Vincent, the name of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has never been more prominent tourism-wise than what it is now.
Some of your critics would say that you have been ineffective. Do you have, let's look at some statistics in terms of the performance of the industry.
Yes.
Can you silence your critics by telling me that the statistics that you can put forward have shown improvement, or at least you've kept the ship going in the right direction, given the turbulent economic seas that we're sailing on?
I can tell you this, and there are two simple statistics that I can quote. And I remember one time I made the comment in Parliament that if I had the choice out of visitor expenditure and visitor arrivals in terms of numbers, give me visitor expenditure. And I remember the opposition made a big hoopla about it. But I don't think they quite grasped what I was speaking about. For the first time in the history of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, visitor expenditure went over 300 million EC dollars under my watch.
Okay.
Under my watch, cruise ship tourism has gone up by more than 100%. Those are two simple figures. And you're right, during these hard economic times, it is hard to keep that sort of thing. And we have to also put things in perspective. You're talking about a destination that has an airport that the largest plane it can take is a Dash 8 50-seater. It's difficult. You know, it hinders what we can do, how many people we can bring it, our room capacity in terms of tourism. That also hinders what we can do. Now we have certain niche markets that we thrive on: our sailing and yachting, our diving, our weddings and honeymoons, our ecotourism, and all of those have seen a significant amount of promotion with me as Minister of Tourism.
So you've promoted these things, but have your promotions, have they paid dividends?
They have paid dividends.
We've seen more activity, or at least we've not seen the decline, the equivalent decline in the activity, given the decline in the world economy?
No, we haven't. I mean, last year, I can tell you, we had a decline in overall tourism figures. I think it was approximately 10%, minus 10%. The only two countries in the Caribbean that had an increase were Jamaica and Aruba. Now, I don't like to compare St. Vincent and the Grenadines to other Caribbean countries or any other country in the world. But those were hard economic times. People were losing their jobs, they had stopped traveling, that sort of thing. But one of the things I always make clear to my ministry and to my staff members and to the stakeholders, I say, let's not fool ourselves. This is the tourism industry. We're up against every other country in the world. Every other nationality thinks that their country is the most beautiful in the world and that everybody should visit there. And so they should. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is no different. And so people have options in terms of price, in terms of quality of service. All of these things play a big part in where people visit. And as I said in a press conference earlier this year, it does not help our situation when you have people, certain people within the industry, bad talk in the country, for no reason at all, basically washing your dirty laundry in public.
Let's put the tourism industry for St. Vincent and the Grenadines in perspective, because we are a unique island, we're a plural country.
32 islands and keys. Yeah.
And you keep saying that as part of your promotional gimmick. Now, let's put it in perspective.